Hello guys, today we'll be reviewing the Yongnuo 50mm f1.8 for the Sony E mount. This is a fully electronic APS-C lens and we'll be testing it out on our Sony A6000. This lens is currently listed at $120 on Amazon, which is an excellent deal for a lens with autofocus in such a wide aperture. I would like to make very clear that this is not a sponsored video and this is a completely unbiased review. So let's jump into it. So as you know, this is a 50mm lens for Sony APS-C cameras, meaning we will be getting an equivalent focal length or field of view of 75mm, which makes this a perfect portrait lens with an aperture as low as f1.8. You can get really nice autofocus backgrounds. Now that you know what this lens is, let's talk about the pros. And the first one is image quality. The optics on this lens are really decent. The only thing I would point out is that when you're shooting wide open at f1.8, it shows a little bit of chromatic aberration on areas of high contrast. However, if you're mostly going to be shooting portraits, this is not an issue that you're going to see very often. Another thing I would like to point out is that when you increase your aperture on this lens, the sharpness improves and the image quality overall as well. This is a great lens and just a great deal for the price. And talking about the price, this lens only costs $120, which is a third of the price of the Sony equivalent. This is amazing since the results that you can get and the image quality is very similar on both of these lenses. I mean, with the price of the Sony, you can buy 3 of these, so why wouldn't you? Also, if you're not willing to spend $350 for the Sony version, this is a great deal since you're getting similar results. And now that you know the good things, let's talk about the not so good ones. And the first one is that it doesn't have any type of OSS. No optical image stabilization on this lens might be a deal breaker for some people, since you might want a 50mm to do some B-roll and no one wants a shaky video. There are always ways around that. I personally don't mind it. I'm used to the 16-50 that comes with the camera that has OSS, and honestly, you can feel the difference, but I don't think it's a big deal. What is a big deal though is the motor noise. So the autofocus system on this lens is a little loud. You can almost hear it when recording video using the internal microphone. In fact, here's how that sounds. This does not affect you when you use an external microphone or when you're doing photography, so be very careful what you're planning to do with this lens when you purchase it, since this might get a little bit annoying. The next thing I would like to talk about that is not so bad but is still bad is the build quality. The outside of this lens is made out of plastic and is very light. It just feels cheap, but that's exactly what you can expect for a lens at this price point. One thing I would like to point out is that it does have a metal mount and it has a USB port for software updates. Also, the focus ring on this lens is very weird. It feels very loose and inconsistent when you're focusing manually. This does not affect you at all when you do photography, but it's not a good thing to deal with. And to conclude this video, I would say that the overall performance and image quality on this lens is great for its price. Its closest competitor is the Sony 50mm f1.8, which is sharper, has optical image stabilization, and has a slightly better build quality. That lens though is $350, and honestly, for the difference in price, if I'm only going to be doing photography, I'd much rather buy the Yongnuo. It's just completely worth it. So I can definitely say I've owned this lens for long enough to answer any questions you guys may have. If that's the case, leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to reply every single question you guys may have. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.